Welcome to Bob's Book Club, and today we're going to introduce a blue book that'll help you improve your writing, become more effective at taking notes, and lead to better productivity. And it's this book here. It's called How to Take Smart Notes by Sönke Ahrens. And in this book, it talks about a system called Zettelkasten. Now, Zettelkasten is a German word that loosely translates to slipbox. But before we get into this book, I want to introduce two other books that led me on the path to discovering this blue book. And the first is by David Allen, and it's this one here called Getting Things Done. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the works of David Allen and GTD, or Getting Things Done, then I highly recommend you getting yourself a copy of this and looking at him. He's got an amazing TED Talk as well that introduces the whole GTD methodology. And the one big idea in here is that the brain is for having ideas, not for storing them. And Alan talks about a system that'll capturing those ideas and then getting them out of your head and organising them into various buckets. And just the principle of getting ideas from your head into another system will allow you to lead what he calls a stress-free, productive life. So highly recommended. Now, building on this book is a chap called Tiago Forte, and he has recently launched this one here, Building a Second Brain. And Tiago Forte is a bit of a productivity guru now, well known on the circuit, and has a course called Building a Second Brain, very much aimed at knowledge workers. And in fact, chapter 1 opens up with a quote from David Allen. "Your mind is for having ideas, not holding them." Now, what Tiago Forte does is he then builds on that system and introduces his own system for taking notes, which he calls CODE. Now, that stands for Capture, Organise, Distill and Express. So capture what resonates most with you. You then organise your ideas. Then you need to distill, find that gold within your work, and then express, so you publish your work. And the whole book is kind of really revolves around that particular system. Highly recommended. This one must read. This one should read. But this one here also talks about Zettelkasten, which has kind of informed much of the work here. So what I've looked at then is, okay, what next? And that's where this one comes in. And this is a more of a thorough research on the system called Zettelkasten, which gives you the theory behind how to take better notes and why it works. Zettelkasten is a system which was developed in the 1960s in Germany by a chap called Niklas Luhmann, and he's recognised as coining that phrase, Zettelkasten. And one of the principles behind this book is when you're taking notes, you need to think about three types of notes you could take. Are they fleeting notes that are here today and gone tomorrow? Or are they permanent notes, things that you want to hold on to forever? Or are they project notes, so kind of temporary notes that you can add towards a project? So fleeting notes, permanent notes, and project notes. And then what Ahrens does is kind of build again a system on that and takes you through how to develop your ideas, how to capture them, how to organise them. One of the things in here he recommends is that you need to single task on activities. Multitasking is bad, and he gives plenty of examples of why multitasking is bad for you in terms of your efficiency and effectiveness and retaining knowledge. One of the things I like in this book is that it teaches you how to create a system that avoids just becoming an archive of notes, or at worst, a graveyard of thoughts, and actually create a valuable body of knowledge that can be used for your own benefit or to help others. One final point in here is he talks about the latest software and apps when it comes to digital note-taking. And Ahrens mentions that the best note-taking apps in his eyes are characterised by their openness and flexibility. And he recommends the likes of Obsidian over Evernote or Notion. Personally, I use Apple Notes for everything because I can access it on all devices. But what do you use? I'd be genuinely interested in the types of tools and techniques that you use, whether it's Notion, Evernote, or Obsidian if you're already using it. Feel free to put something in the comments below. So that's it. I thought I'd introduce this blue book that has recently arrived with us, and I'd certainly give it a good on our EGSB scale. But then also use the opportunity to introduce 2 other books that I certainly believe should be on your reading list too. Thanks for tuning in. Next time on Bob's Book Club, we're going to introduce a behemoth of a big blue book. Look forward to seeing you then.